exciting new offering to our Stakeholder-Centered Coach certification. And what that specifically is a program designed exclusively for HR professionals, which combines both what we've been doing since about 2003 with Stakeholder-Centered Coaching with standard HR business practices to make our HR professionals really effective coaches in their organization. And what led to this was the man sitting next to me, my good friend Jathan, who really has that expertise, which we lacked. And he's both the inspiration for this 3-day certification and the mastermind about how to integrate stakeholder-centered coaching with standard HR business practices. So with that, Jathan, I want to ask you, kind of what led you to think about this idea for this certification?
Well, the first part of it, Frank, was in a prior career, I practiced labor and employment law for 25 years. And so I've been working with HR professionals both throughout that time and then since as a coach and consultant. And I've, over time, increasingly felt that HR has taken a wrong turn. That it's gotten so focused on legal risk that unfortunately it hasn't been good for the health of the organization, nor has it actually been good for managing legal risk. And so I had this in the background, and I'd been talking about it and writing about it for SHRM and other publications and in my books. And so, and it's basically, there's 3 types of HR professionals. There's the compliance cop, the one who issues the you can't or you must, the orders. There's the compliance coach who tries to persuade, but is still essentially focused on avoiding risk, as opposed to what I call a culture coach, which is focused primarily on the health of the organization, which in my 25-year legal career said that's actually the best prescription for staying out of court. So I had this as a long passion, And then after I became certified in this particular methodology and started to apply it with C-suites, senior executives, profits, nonprofits, and HR professionals, it kept hitting me how much there was a parallel between fundamental concepts and techniques of stakeholder-centered coaching and the kind of model that I think works from where a HR professional isn't simply a tolerated cost, but is one of the most valued assets in the entire organization. And so that's kind of how I started to sort of weave, first in my own practice and with my clients, and then that's what inspired the idea to come to you and Chris and Marshall and say, what if we create a program based on this?
Right. Yeah, and it's funny because you come out of that legal profession. I've never been there, and it's understandable why HR has been put in that role of helping minimize risk. Yet what I'm really excited about is this kind of act gives a totally different positive way to avoid risk and to accomplish the role and really be seen as a business partner to the leadership. So why don't you just briefly describe how you see integrating some of all that wisdom and experience you've had with HR and the practices that HR professionals engage in and our stakeholder-centered coaching model?
Yes, well, in kind of the overview, and what I'll be focusing on in this particular program are where I think sort of the friction points are, or really where the opportunities are for HR to move out of that cop or that compliance to a culture mentality and win all the way across. So for instance, there's a document tool that I call the same-day summary, which is fundamental to all the work I do with HR professionals and organizations. That weaves in and fits very nicely with some of the basic core principles of stakeholder-centered coaching in terms of the communication, in terms of the ask, listen, get a sense of what is the need, what are the blind spots, what are the perceptions, and then create a tool that instead of adversarial type documentation that is such a problem, it actually, the document is a tool as part of that coaching process.
Yeah.
And so I have a 7-part checklist that I've taught on investigations. And a key thing, if HR can effectively do internal investigations, huge game change, both in the health of the organization and in terms of staying out of court. And so this 7-part checklist now has specific hooks to stakeholder-centered concepts and methodologies. I mean, frankly, it's what I'm doing with clients right now already. Sure. It's now taking it, integrating it with you, and in a joint presentation, and then laying that out for everybody.
Yeah, and similar to our just standard stakeholder-centered coaching is what you're saying is it's really going much more of a systems approach to the solution, getting more people involved than just the person that the HR professional is dealing with as a leader, but getting the other people involved to make the right things happen.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's great. So, yeah, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be piloting first this program. So those that are early adopters will want to join us. And so Jathan and I will be both there doing this program, the 3-day program. And if you want to learn more, we're going to now provide you with the contact information for Jathan, mainly because he's the guy that really is the mastermind of this, that can answer your questions. And we really look forward to this being a phenomenal addition to our stakeholder-centered coach certification and what we do to help organizations develop phenomenal cultures where everyone feels involved, empowered, enlightened, and a contributor to their organizations. So with that, thank you for watching our video.
Thank you.